going to be showing you how to make this Candyman. He's adorable, he's just multicolored. You only need 90 random colored bands, 1 rainbow loom, and your hook. You will also need some black beads that you can use as the eyes, or you can just use black bands. It's your decision, but you just get to decide. This one has bands in it, but I'm going to be using beads today. So I just have a bin full of random colored rubber bands. I don't know if any other rainbow loomers out there have that, but it's just a random mixed color of bands, and that is what I'm going to be using to make my Candyman today. So you can just choose your colors or create a pattern, but I'm just going to do a randomized color today. So you're going to put your loom in the staggered configuration, just like that. And you're going to be using 2 bands at a time. So take 2 bands and go from the center to the left. Take another random 2 colored bands from the center to the right. Another 2 down the left peg. Another 2 down the right peg. You're going to take 2 down the middle. Take another one down the left and the right sides. And one more set of 2 down the middle. Okay, so this is what my head looks like. All of these are 2 bands at a time. So you're going to go down 3 times with 2 bands at a time. Up, well, down 2 over here and across 2 with 2 over here. And across 1 over here. These are all 2 sets. And then same on the opposite side. Now you're going to take another 2 bands and go from the left peg to the center and from the right peg to the center, just like that. Now you're actually going to be taking 3 bands so that your neck is not as flimsy, so take 3, not 2, and go down once in the middle for your neck. Now we're switching back to 2 bands again, and you're going to go from the center to the left and from the center to the right. Now you're going to be going down 3 times on the left and the right side. Sorry, this is really bad photography. Okay, so you had a set of 3 down the middle here. You had 2 here, and then 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. Okay? Now you're gonna go down 3 times on the other side. Just like that. Now you're gonna go down 3 times in the middle. Just like that. And I'm just going to check my prototype here. Now you're going to take 2 bands from the center out to the right peg and from the center out to the left peg. Now for your legs, since we have enough room on the loom, we're just going to do it on the loom. You're going to go down 4 times on the left side and the right side. 2. Oh, sorry guys, it's hard to find bands. 3. Lots of my bands are broken. 4. Do that again on the other side. Don't worry, I'll recap this. If it's really hard to see me, I'm sorry, the lighting's not great here. But if it's hard to see me, don't worry, I'll show you the recap after this just to make sure that you have it all properly put on your loom. Okay, one more set. Okay. That's what mine looks like. So now I'm going to recap. This is the head right here. All of these are 2 sets of bands, so just kind of glance at these and do that. This neck is 3 bands, but that's the only part in this creation so far that has 3 bands. The rest of the body is all 2 bands at a time, just like that. Just like that. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to make it clear so that way you guys understand. Just like that. Okay. So now you're going to be taking another 2 bands and we're going to put our horizontals or whatever you'd like to call them for connector bands. You're going to put the 2 right across like that in a triangle shape. And 2 more right across here like that in a triangle shape. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make the arms, and the arms are super simple. You're just going to take a single band and wrap it around your hook 3 times to create 4 loops. Then take 2 random colored bands at a time. Sorry, it's different colors. Okay, 2 random bands at a time and pull those 4 loops onto those 2. Repeat this step with 2 more bands. Again, 2 more bands. This is what happens sometimes. If the bands break, you have to make sure that you fix it, because if you don't fix it, then your creation might end up looking super weird afterwards, or if it doesn't look weird, then it'll just kind of look like it's missing something. Somebody will be like, hey, why is this arm look smaller than the other one? So make sure that everything's correct. Okay, I fixed that. I've only went down 3 times in my capping band. Now you're going to repeat that step 1 more time. Now you have a chain of 4 plus your capping band, just like that. You're going to take your loom and you're going to place it on the shoulder. And I'll show you exactly where that is in a second. Right there. You're going to place it right on the shoulder like that. You're going to do this, repeat this arm 1 more time. Around your hook 3 times to create 4 loops. Pull those 4 loops onto 2 bands. This time, so if you need to go back and rewind, feel free to do so. Alright, you're going to place this on the other shoulder, right here. Make sure all those loops get on there. If they don't all get on there, then your arm will fall off of its peg. Just like that. Those are the arms. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make the eyes. And you've got to be very careful with this because your bands can snap. You're going to take 2 black bands, take 1 and wrap it around your hook 3 times to create 4 loops. Push it down on your hook and do the same thing with the other one. Now they're kind of separated on there, just like that. Now you're going to take 2 bands and very carefully and gently, especially if you have very flimsy bands, you're going to pull all 8 loops onto your hook at onto those 2 bands at once. Then you've kind of got something that looks like that. You're going to take it and you're going to put it on the head. So you're going to place each side on the head in those 2 places right there. Then you're going to separate them in the middle, so you're going to kind of, sorry, I got to separate them out, just like this. Separate the 2 bands apart from each other. Kind of see how they're apart like that. Then go straight in the middle. And once you've got a hold of those bands, bring it up to the center like a triangle. Just like that. That's if you're using bands, which is what I did on this one for the eyes. What I'm going to show you how to do today also is with the beads. And those are also really good to use as well. you're just going to take your 2 bands and you're just going to kind of put them through those beads like so. Okay, so now my bands are through. I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to put one on each side like this. One on that peg, one on that peg, like that. And then like with the beads, I'm going to separate them out in the middle and bring those 2 on like that in a triangle shape. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to take a single band and wrap it around this peg 3 times to create 4 loops. 4. Okay, this is our capping band. You're going to do the same on the other leg. So if you look at the leg and you separate it out, that's the capping band on there. Now we're going to loop. I'm going to try my best to show you this while we do it. You're going to go down into this capping band, pull it back, and then you're going to grab the bottom 2 loops and loop forward. Be very careful if you have bands that can break. Grab again the 2 loops and loop forward. Uh-oh, that was my book. Then you grab the next 2 bands and loop forward. Grab the next 2 bands, loop forward. Just like that. Same thing with the other leg. Bottom 2 bands, loop forward. So you're going to pause it right there. When I say bottom 2 bands, loop forward, you're going to then pause it and then show it when I've looped it forward. Now, next 2 bands, loop forward. Next 2 bands, loop forward. Next 2 bands, loop forward. Now you're going to dig into one of your sides of your leg. So I'm doing the left side. You're going to grab the top 2 bands that you see and loop those to the center. And then you're going to go into the other leg, grab the top 2 bands you see, and loop to the center. Then again, go back into that peg and grab the bottom 2 bands you see and loop forward. Push back those connector bands and loop forward again. Push back more connector bands and loop forward once again. Then you're going to dig past that arm and loop to the center. Now you're going to go back to the other side of your leg and loop those next 2 bands. Push back the connector bands, loop forward. Push back the connector bands, loop forward. Then you're going to push back the arm and loop to the center. Now you're going to dig down into the middle, past all those bands, and grab the bottom 2 loops and loop forward. Keep looping forward again twice. Now you come to the neck. This has a lot of bands on it. So you're going to dig down past all of those and grab all 3 that you find down there. And loop all 3 forward. So if you didn't see that, I've looped all the legs, the body, and the neck. I grabbed all 3 bands. Now I'm moving on to the head. You're going to grab the top 2 loops you see. This will be tricky because they're all a different color. Take those top 2 bands and loop them forward. Take the next top 2. Oh, sorry, not forward, diagonally. Mine went to the right. These next ones should go to the left if you did it the same way I did. Then you're gonna loop up the center. You should do this 3 times and have to push back the eye bands. Then you're gonna loop up the sides. Now loop up diagonally to the center. Gonna loop up the sides again. Keep looping. Now you're gonna loop to the center. Alright, so everything should look like upside down raindrops now. Make sure that it does. Once it does, go through all those bands in the middle right there and grab a single band, make sure it's durable, and pull it through all of those bands and create a slip knot. Once you've done that, you can pull your creation off the loom. It'll look very strange at first, warning, especially if you have stretchy bands. You may find some bands that break, and that's okay. It'll just look a little bit strange, but hopefully you tried your best while you were creating your Rainbow Loom creation to make sure that you replaced all of those broken bands. That's another thing you should check before you're taking it all off, because sometimes at the end you notice that you had some broken bands. Alright, so now I'm going to pull apart my Candyman. You're going to kind of have to stretch out him, and especially his legs. His legs will probably be very bunched up if you use tight bands. If you didn't, he'll probably come out looking even better than mine did, but make sure. I would like to see those pictures of these guys. Your color combinations will probably be better than mine. Alright, so this is the basic idea of what mine looks like. If you want to tuck in this band, you can. It's perfectly fine. But anyways, I hope you liked this little Candyman tutorial. Here's my other one. They both look very similar, and if you did use tight bands and it's kind of curling up like mine is, that's totally okay. You just gotta kind of stretch it out and work it, and eventually when those bands kind of harden, give it a little bit, like maybe 15-20 minutes after you loom it, and the band should start to harden up again, and you'll get a look more like this, because this guy came out at first looking not great too, but now they look great. So anyways, I hope you liked this Candyman tutorial. Leave a like on this video and comments if you have questions. Thank you so much. Bye!